Now, I probably start these videos very much the same every time I kind of do them, in the sense that being a Spurs fan is really, really difficult. And more so being this season, where we currently sit 14th out of all the cups, bar our European challenge, which is still looking to be a difficult kind of front for us to deal with. What better way to kind of see off international break and with the final run-in of the Premier League and that European campaign to ask some familiar questions to some familiar faces that I think we've all kind of asked ourselves secretly if we haven't admitted it. So without further ado, I'm going to let those guys crack on with how they see our game against Frankfurt, Ange and beyond into next season. Let's go.
Hello Hollie, this is Davo from Lads' Tottenham, grumpy old Spurs, Tuesday night, 7 PM or 8 PM UK time. This week we're going to be doing the worst Spurs team we've ever seen, grumpy ahoy. So the big questions of the day: Frankfurt, can we beat them? I think it's going to be very tight. I think that they're a team who do concede goals. They've got a promising front line as well. It's going to be tight. I think we'll get through by the odd goal, and I'm being really optimistic about that. Are we going to win Europa League? I can't see it myself. I think that we don't have the quality to be consistently seeing us through the set of games we need to do. I'd love it if we did, but I can't see it happening. But hey, if Newcastle won their first trophy in 70 years, maybe we can win the second trophy under Daniel Levy and Enoch hospitality. Therefore, if we win the Europa, would that save the season? But it would save the season because it's a trophy, and it means we get to parade down the high street in between the Beyonce concert and whatever else is going on, and Imagine Dragons, and that would be fantastic because I'm a huge Imagine Dragons fan. Love all their stuff, particularly the early work. So that would save the season, but let's be honest, this season the football, the results have been absolutely appalling. I mean, I know we've had injuries, but you know, Ange should have brought in Spence earlier. Region, he's not great, but he should have used him more to rotate his squad during the Europa Group games. So I think Ange will be gone in the summer. I think it's yet another big summer in the Enoch project. It's the new next big summer after the last big summer. Before that was the last big summer. So it's another big summer. And then finally, that's what's going to happen. Anyway, hope you're all well, and thank you very much.
What's happening, people? It's your guy Wes here. Big thank you to Hollie for asking me to do this video. She's asked me to answer a couple questions with regards to Spurs this season. So the first one is, do I see us going through against Frankfurt and winning the Europa League? Honest answer is no, I don't see us getting through. I think with our away record in Europe, I think that's going to be a massive task, especially with the fact that the second leg is away from home. I think if the first leg was away and the second leg was at home, I'd be feeling a little bit more confident. But given our away record in Europe, I can't see us getting what we need, unfortunately, across both legs. So I see us crashing out of the Europa League at this particular stage to Eintracht Frankfurt, who are obviously having a really, really good season in the Bundesliga as well. If we win the Europa League, is the season saved? Really good question. One that I disagree with. If we win the Europa League, is the season saved? I personally feel like we would end up in a similar situation to like Manchester United were at the start of the season. Obviously, there was lots of question marks about Ten Hag towards the end of last season. If it was almost sort of hinging on the FA Cup run, and if they won the FA Cup, etc., etc. And obviously, we all know what happened with Ten Hag. He got sacked fairly early on into this current season. So I personally feel we would be in the same situation with Ange going into next season. He would probably get that little bit of grace, but then obviously if we don't start well, he'll be out the door pretty quick. Next question is, where am I with Ange? It's a really, really difficult one. I want him to succeed at our football club. Of course I do. I think there's a really, really likeable bloke in there. I love some of the things that he has brought to us, especially last season. It felt like we had our football club back. You know, there was a really good connection between the team and the players, and loads of fans wanted to go to games as well. I think that has somewhat dwindled over time, especially this season. Obviously, I know we've had a lot of injuries and things like that. But I look at other clubs that have had multiple injuries and they've still managed to get a tune out of their players that they have available to them. So I think, as much as I want Ange to stay and succeed, I think his time at Tottenham is up, and I think his days are numbered. It's a case of when he gets the sack and not if. What do I see happening come the summer? I personally think it will be a new man in charge, a new man at the helm at Tottenham in the summer, because I can't for the life of me see how we get through this period after this with Ange. I just think the toxicity, easy for me to say, around the club is too much, and I think Levy, being the way he is, will definitely pull the trigger at some point. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Take care. See you soon.
So, Eintracht Frankfurt. Do I think we're going to beat Eintracht Frankfurt? It's going to be very, very difficult. Just saw Hugo Eketi, or Eketi, I don't know how to spell his name, score a hat-trick against England. He's probably one of the most in-demand strikers in the moment in the Bundesliga. Young, really, a real handful. Luckily for us, Mamouche has gone to Manchester City because they were a deadly duo. But still, Frankfurt sit third in the league. It's going to be really difficult. The only thing they seem to struggle on is a low block. So whether or not we can go defensively and try and hit them. Knauf went off on Saturday injured, so hopefully he won't make it. But they are a threat. Can we win? Yes. Do I think we're going to win? No. But anything's possible in football. Where am I with Ange Postecoglou? Listen, 15 defeats this season in the league, 19 defeats in total. It's just unheard of. It's unacceptable, I've got to be honest. 35 defeats since November the 5th, 2023. It's just more of the same. I never thought he'd last till Christmas. No one wants to see someone lose and not be successful, but it's just, I blame Levy for this because he should never have been appointed. There were many managers out there who could do a lot better than him, but we didn't. So I'm hoping this summer that Fabio is back. He brings in some quality players, Matheus Cunha, João Gomez, but it will probably be Angel Gomez because he's on a free. And Jonathan David, for me, would be another one. But, I just don't want to see us go and say we spend £150 million. I don't want to see us buying 5 or 6 players for £150 million. I would like us to go out and, buy 2 or 3 top players that will help this squad. I don't believe the squad is as bad as it makes out. And, if we were to lose Kuti, then I'd like to get Dean Huijsen, would be my number one choice. And as for manager, I'm going to be boring. I'm going to say Iriola. Xavi, obviously the rumours, but let's be honest, right? Xavi, with his fiery nature, and Levy, shades of Conte probably. But whatever happens, let's hope that we can go on a run. That's what we really need. Come on, you Spurs.
Yo, people, it's Tobes here, representing for Hollie on Hollie Hotspurs. And I'm here to answer a couple of questions, man. So the first question, and I'm going to read them. I'm going to read them again. If we win the Europa, is the season saved? The season is absolutely not saved. The Spurs are sat in 14th place as it stands. Don't care how many goals we scored. We've conceded bucket loads of goals to come with them. We've lost 19 games in all competitions and we're going to lose more. So no, the Europa League doesn't save it. It would be fantastic to get silverware. We ain't seen that in a long time, but it doesn't just make this season a great season. Where am I with Ange? I'm firmly Ange out. I've tried. I've been patient. I've seen the flags even from last season, but I gave him the blag. I've given him every single excuse under the sun. I've given him time. I've given patience. I've given sympathy. I've given empathy. I've given everything. But I can't fight logic. And logic tells me that this guy's not going to turn it around. And his base way of playing is fundamentally flawed. His substitutions aren't good enough. His in-game management isn't good enough. His defensive structure, non-existent. He's just too lopsided for me. So, I think it's time for us to change a new manager. What do I see happening this summer? I think we're going to get a new manager. I don't know whether it's going to be the right manager, but I think we're going to get a new manager. And I can see us doing what we normally do every summer, which is half-arse it in the transfer window and ultimately give ourselves a 5 or 4 out of 10 transfer window, a window that we know is not good enough for us to go into the subsequent season confident that we're actually going to do anything meaningful. Last question. Yeah, I think that's it. I've answered all the questions. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Last question. Do I see us going through against Frankfurt? Right now, no. But do we have the squad on paper to do it? Yes.
What's happening, people? Harry Scarf here, football content creator and YouTuber. Thank you to Hollie, firstly, this opportunity you put to me a few questions, so let's get through them. Firstly, do I see us beating Frankfurt and winning Europa League? I think Frankfurt will be tough. I think having that second leg away is a real negative. I think is the bigger thing that people will acknowledge and give credit for. And I think it's going to be really tough. Obviously, third in the Bundesliga, been a really good outfit, high scoring as well. I think the third highest scoring in the Bundesliga as well, matching them being third in the league. So it's going to be tough. I think we'll get through, but I don't think we'll win the Europa League. If I'm honest with you, I hope I'm wrong. I think that the semi-final could be our undoing, but it's less than 8 weeks. Until the final in Bilbao. It'll be great if we can be there. If we win Europa League, is our season saved? Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt. It's been an embarrassing domestic campaign. There's no secret about it. It's been painful for everyone associated with the club, especially for us fans. But if we win the Europa League, for me, all is forgotten. We all would have said that at the start of the year. It's about winning a trophy. Instead of where we finish in the league, as long as it's not too embarrassing. It hasn't been great, but yeah. For me, our season's absolutely saved and probably Postecoglou's future. And that leads me on perfectly to my next point, my opinions on Ange. Kind of at the end of the tether, to be honest with you. And I don't feel that strongly either way, though. I think probably in the summer you do depart ways. I think the problems are higher up at the club. I think you could have Pep Guardiola at the club. There's a limit, there's a cap on what he can achieve with the way we recruit and the way we do business and just the way the owners and the board operate, and Daniel Levy. But I do think probably Ange is not the right manager to give time. We need to start giving managers more time. I don't think Ange is the right guy to do that. What do I see happening in the summer? I think there'd be a lot of players leaving in the summer. I think it'd be summer of outgoings, Kulusevski, Romero, but hopefully I'm wrong. Thank you, Hollie.
So there you have it. Yes, there's quite a few mixed opinions, but I kind of thought that was going to be the case anyway. Where I kind of sit with all the questions, obviously I do hope we beat Frankfurt. Obviously, like we said, I think we've all kind of said our season's done unless we manage to get through to the final of this competition. Do I think that will turn around the season? I think so, purely on the basis that we've waited so long for a trophy. Ange has come in and he's the one that's done it. Do I think if we win Europa League, he stays within his job? I am not too sure. I wouldn't be too miffed if at the end of the season, once we've won that Europa, both parties kind of part way. I don't see that being an issue. Then it obviously comes to the summer. What do we kind of do? Who do we get in? I would be frank with you. I have no idea. Would I love Harry Redknapp back at the club? Yes, but I also think that was going to be a potential between obviously international break and Europa League. But now Ange is here, I don't see Harry coming in the summer. I think we go again with another project. And I think that's just how the cycle's going to go. But if it means we've got a trophy in the process of playing bad in the Premier League, I will take it. So yeah, that's my kind of thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment sections below. Obviously, we'll be having a quiz on Wednesday. Make sure you tune in that one. And then we're back full into the swing of things because next Monday, Hotspurs Live is back to go over the game against Southampton. So yes, let me know your thoughts in the comment sections. And until next time, come on you Spurs.